Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're covering this three-game slate on the 14th of November, Tuesday. The game starts at 6:30, so just jump right in. It's a small three-game slate. We'll go look at the over-unders and lines real quick. Each game's got around 6.5, 7 line, and over-unders are all over the place, 200, 210, 220. So there's quite a few ways you can go. I'm not looking too much for cash day. I'm going to play more GPPs than cash, but just jump right in and look at this first game, Boston versus Brooklyn. So we'll need to check if KYRIE's going to play. I think he's going to play. It says out there, but I think that was for last game. Yeah, it looks like KYRIE's expected to play, so he's definitely in play. Haven't kept up with him much this year. I haven't used him a whole lot, but he's been pretty consistent around that 40 number. I don't know if he'll have any minute restriction tonight or if he's going to see what he normally does, but KYRIE's definitely in play. Probably not my favorite because I feel like most of us are going to use Harden, but let's just jump down to Al Horford. I like Horford a lot tonight. Brooklyn's not very good against the forwards and center positions, and Horford's in for probably a big game. He's going to get quite a few rebounds, I feel like, and at 7,600, he's going to very likely hit his value pretty easily. I like Horford quite a bit tonight. He's definitely my favorite center of the night, so I'm going to plug him into almost all my lineups. Jaylen Brown's definitely in play, but at 6,700, I think that's a bit too high for him against Brooklyn. He might have a big game, but with KYRIE coming back, I think Kyrie's going to be more dominant, but Jaylen Brown could throw him in a couple lineups. Hollis Jefferson's been struggling quite a bit, and I'm not a big fan of him. Marcus Smart and Tatum both are pretty high now. I don't know. Smart's probably coming off the bench now. He's been okay this year. He's kind of inconsistent, but at 6,300, you want about 30 out of him, maybe a little bit more for cash games and like 35 for GPPs. So he could definitely hit that value, but I don't see it happening tonight at that price. I think it's just a little bit too much to pay for Smart. So I'm looking to go other ways. Now we'll get down to DINWIDDIE. I think DINWIDDIE's in a great spot at 4,800, being that D'Angelo Russell has been ruled out already. So I think he's in a good spot for a cheaper guy. He should see a big run of minutes, around 25, 30 minutes in this game. So I think DINWIDDIE should be in a good spot to hit his value pretty easily. He's not been shooting well at all lately. I don't think he's that great of a shooter to begin with, but with point guards, if they're seeing their minutes, they're going to get their points most of the time. So I'd say he's going to be real chalky in cash and definitely use him in some GPPs. On Crabbe and Karis LeVert, I don't love them, but they're cheap. You could punt with them. Aron Baynes has been pretty solid lately. I don't know if he's going to see very many minutes with Horford being in, but he could still be a decent punt play. I'm not really looking to go there because I think Horford's going to be in for a big night, but Brooklyn is really bad against that center position, so Baynes is definitely in play as well. And that's really all we got for this game. I'm not looking to go too much from this one. You definitely could play KYRIE if he's in, but other than that, I don't like a whole lot else in this game. So we'll just move on to this Toronto-Houston game. So top guy on the slate, Harden. I think pretty much everybody's going to have Harden in play. You got to use him in cash games. He's just too good not to, and he's going to be ultra chalky. In the GPP games, I'm going to use him quite a bit, maybe fade him one time, but I think he's just too good on this three-game slate to fade. Even at his price, he's likely to hit his value. He's had some monster games lately. Even his bad games are still just insanely good. So Harden's found his groove this year, and he's looking real good. So plug Harden in every lineup. Fade him at your own risk. So I'm going to put him over there. Now, DeRozan I like quite a bit. 8K is a bit high, but with this game, expecting to be high scoring and close, I like DeRozan a little bit. I don't know if he'll hit his cash game value, which would be around 40. I don't know if he'll get there or not. Depends on how he's shooting. He's not been shooting great this year. He's had a few games where he shot pretty well, but I don't know if I'm looking to go there yet. He's definitely in play, but DeRozan kind of worries me on that salary. 8K is a big jump from what he's been at, and you can play him, but I think he's a little risky at that price. I'll move down. Got Kyle Lowry. He's a little high for me too. I don't know why these guys jumped up so much against this Houston team, but 7,700 for Lowry. I don't think that's in play. It's just too much to pay for him. I don't like that price tag at all, so I'm going to be avoiding him. CAPELA 7,100. I think that's a bit high. Oh, clicked on Gordon. CAPELA's a bit high at 7,100. He's been playing real well, but I don't know if I can go there. I like Al Horford quite a bit more, and he's only a little bit more expensive. But CAPELA could be a nice GPP pivot off of Horford. He's definitely got the capability of putting up some big numbers like he shows. Been shooting well lately because he takes them inside. But if you like Clint Capela or you think he's going to have a good game, definitely play him. This game is projected to be the highest scoring on the slate. So Clint Capela is definitely in play. I like him quite a bit, but I like Al Horford a little bit more just for a little $500 difference. Now, Eric Gordon, I think, is in for a big game. He kind of disappointed a couple games ago against Cleveland, but he's pretty consistent. He's in for about 30 points, and that's with him shooting fairly well. If he starts draining those threes, though, he can really hit his value and very much exceed value on almost any given night. Doesn't matter who he's playing. He seems to get his minutes about every night, 30, 35 minutes most nights. So Eric Gordon, I think, is well in play here. I like him quite a bit. I'll add him over there, too. I think he's one of my favorites on the night for shooting guard. So now you get down to some of these guys. Serge Ibaka's an okay play. He's been pretty solid lately, but I don't know if I'm looking to go there or not. He's very, very inconsistent with his scoring, which kind of worries me, but he does get other stats. He'll get you quite a few rebounds and normally a blocker, a steal in a game. So he's not bad at that 5,200 price. It's gone up a little bit, but Serge is definitely in play in both formats. I like him a little bit, but I'm not going to have a ton of exposure to him just because there's some better options at lower prices in my opinion. Now, Trevor Ariza, he played very well a couple nights ago and exceeded his value quite a bit. He's gone up a little bit, but he's been really consistent lately, hitting around 25 points every game. And that's just something you want in like cash or something. But 5,100 is a little high against a decent defensive Toronto squad. I'm not sure how this game's going to play out. If he's shooting well, he can definitely get you some points, but if he's not, he's probably looking around 20. So he's more of a GPP play for me. I'm not looking to go there in a lot, but I'll have a little bit of exposure to him. Ryan Anderson's the same way, very shooting dependent. He'll get some rebounds, but other than that, he needs to be scoring to put up the numbers you want to put up at 4,700. He's been pretty bad lately. About 16 most games. Occasionally he'll hit like 20, 25, but he had a couple big games in here when he was shooting three well. If he's not shooting his threes well, which lately he's not been at all, he's not going to be a huge value to you, but he has a big upside and a low floor, so if you like him, play him. Wouldn't go there in cash, but GPP, he's fine. Now we'll get down to this guy. CJ Miles, I think, is in for a huge game tonight. He should see an increase in minutes at 21 minutes. I think he'll get around 24, 25 minutes, maybe even a little bit more. I think he's in for a big game. If he's shooting well at 3,400, he's going to exceed value easily. The dude can, when he's on his game, he can really put up points fast. And I think Toronto's going to need that tonight to keep up with Houston. He's been shooting very poorly this whole season. And last year he was okay. So whenever he gets hot, he can just shoot the ball. So I like CJ Miles a lot as your cheap punt play because he's going to see a decent amount of minutes. You can see his floor is very low, so probably don't go there in cash. But he does have some upside, especially at that 3,400 price tag. I think CJ Miles is definitely in play for GPP if you need a cheap guy. So I like CJ Miles quite a bit. I could see him putting up 25, and that'd be great on a $3,400 salary. So I'll add him over here as well. And that's really about all I've got for this game. And why I like CJ Miles more is because if Norman Powell is out, he's going to see more minutes. We're not sure what's going to happen with him. Says he's no longer using crutches, but held out of Monday's practice. So I doubt he's going to play tonight, but there's a chance he will. So definitely keep an eye on that. If Powell's out, that gives a big bump to CJ Miles' minutes, and I think that'll help him quite a bit. I think CJ Miles will be in a lot of my lineups tonight. And that's pretty much all I've got from this game. If you want to go some of these cheaper guys, you can go there. I'm not looking to go there. Valanciunas is maybe in play, but I just like Horford a lot more and CAPELA a lot more, so I wouldn't go there unless you need a cheap center. Okay, so let's just move on to the San Diego-Dallas game. This one kind of worries me a little bit. I think San Antonio is really just going to slow it down, control the game, and I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of scoring. But we've got We got LaMarcus Aldridge at the top, 8,500. He's easily in play, but at 8,500, you're going to need him to shoot well, which he has been doing for the most part, but he doesn't take a whole lot of shots for his price tag. He's had pretty good games. His last game was he didn't play much minutes because they were just blowing him out. So that's the problem I'm a little worried with if Dallas can hang with him. But if Dallas can hang, you think Dallas can hang, I think Aldridge is definitely in play in GPPs. I wouldn't go there in cash just because that price tag's a little high. But I don't think he's going to get a lot of buyers on this slate, especially with Harden being as popular as he's going to be. So if you like Aldridge quite a bit, definitely play him in GPP because he's going to be low owned. You might have a nice little stack there if you want to game stack this one. So Aldridge in play, not a huge fan, but he definitely could hit his value. GASOL, I'm not in love with, but he's there. If you like him, I'd put him in at power forward, not over center. But he's been pretty solid lately. He doesn't get a whole lot of minutes. Average is probably around 25 minutes, maybe closer to 30, but around that 25 to 30 range is where he's going to be. He's been pretty good lately. Last game he shot lights out. 8 of 11 is really good for him. Made all his threes. But he will put up the numbers with it. He's going to get rebounds, and he'll get a few blocks per game on most nights and a couple assists. So Powell's definitely in play at that 6,500. I'd like to put him in that power forward spot over the center, but I think Powell's good in both formats, cash and GPP. I'm just a little worried that San Antonio runs away with this game, but I don't think that'll affect Powell's minutes too much because he's not the highest minutes guy to begin with. Then we'll move down to some of these Dallas guys. Harrison Barnes, I think, is definitely in play. The dude's been really good lately. 40 in all his last 3 games, which is insane on that salary. I don't know if I'm personally looking to go here in GPPs, but in cash, I think he's going to be fairly popular tonight. He's been shooting just amazing. So the dude's good. The Mavs are not good, so that's what worries me. If they can hang, I don't know if they will, and San Antonio is a good defensive team, but I think Harrison Barnes is pretty safe to get his 30-ish minutes, and I think he'll score well. He'll be the main scorer on the Mavs. So Harrison Barnes, I would go. Definitely, I think he's a fair cash game play, and I think he's in play for GPPs. So I like Harrison Barnes a little bit tonight. Then Rudy Gay, I'm not the biggest fan of this guy. When he moved from Sacramento, he's okay. He's not been great this season. He just doesn't get a lot of opportunities to get points because he's always in there. Either he's in there with like Aldridge in them and they shoot way more than he does, or he's just not making his shots. He doesn't get a whole lot of rebounds for being his size. And his minutes aren't great for his price tag. 5,700 is just a bit much for him, especially the way he's been playing lately. Just not taking enough shots for him to be worth that value. So I don't like Rudy Gay tonight. If you like him, definitely play him, but I'm not going that way tonight on this 3-game slate. Okay, Dennis Smith, I think he could be a good play tonight. 5,600 is getting up there for me, but he's been solid lately. The dude's pretty good. He can shoot the ball. Looking really good for the Mavs. I think they drafted him well. But his salary at 5,600 against the Spurs is not my favorite. He's shooting pretty well lately. His stats are okay. He gets rebounds. He doesn't do a lot of assists or blocks or steals. But if he's scoring well, he can put up some big points. He's relatively safe. His floor has got to be pretty low. but I don't know. It really just depends how this game flow works out. If the game flow is working in his favor, he could have that 40-point game, or he could have a 20-point game. I don't see him being too much lower than 20 as long as he gets his minutes. So Dennis Smith's in play. I don't love the play, but I'm not going to knock anyone for playing him, especially because we don't have many guys to choose from. So he'll definitely find his way in some of my lineups. Danny Green, he's burned me a couple times this year, but 4,600, he's okay. I'm not sure if he's going to play or not. I feel like he will. I don't think he's going to be out, but he's been really inconsistent this year. He's normally pretty solid, but he gets his minutes. It's just what can he do with those minutes, because he doesn't get a whole lot of rebounds or assists. So he's pretty scoring dependent. When he's shooting well, like in these couple games against the Clippers and Phoenix, he had decent days with those salaries, but most days I feel like he's going to be in that 15 to 20 range, so I'm not looking to go here. But he has upside, but his floor is rather low for that price. Not a fan of, I don't like Murray too much. He might see more minutes if San Antonio's up quite a bit. He had a good game against Chicago, but that's against Chicago, and he got a wide run of minutes for him. 25 is pretty high. It's definitely on the higher end. I don't see him getting over 20 most nights, but he's in play. I don't like him at 4,600 that much, though. Kyle Anderson's been pretty good. It's just, do you want to go there or not? 4,500 if you want a cheaper guy. Kyle Anderson's one of my favorites for this price tag if you're going to play him. 4,500 is okay. He could easily get you 25, 30 points, or he could easily get you like 10. So he's in play. I think his minutes are pretty safe. I think he'll play around 25, 28 minutes, which is good for that price tag. So he's definitely going to be on the court and involved with the game. So if game flow works out in his way, I think he's in a good spot. So I'll probably have quite a bit of exposure to him. And other than that, JJ Barea, Yogi Ferrell, both in play. It's hard to decide which one. I've liked JJ quite a bit this season, but he's been just kind of like all over the place. Normally in the 20s, if he's shooting well, he can get you like 25, maybe 30 like in this game. But for the most part, he's around a 20 guy, and then randomly we'll have a game where he puts up like 8. So if you like him, you can play him. He's not been shooting particularly well lately, but he's a decent player for the Mavs. He's going to be involved when he's in the game, but he doesn't get a whole lot of minutes. Then we got Yogi Ferrell. 3,800 is a little better price tag than Barea, and he's seeing more minutes than him, but he's not putting up the numbers. He's had 30 that last game, so he's on the rise. I don't know if he'll be great. He's very scoring dependent. His other stat categories are pretty low. If you like Yogi Ferrell, he's definitely a good, cheaper guy that you can use. At that 3,800 price tag, he's not bad, but I wouldn't play him in cash. He's probably a GPP only for me, and minimal run at that. Ginobili was okay last game, but I don't know if you're looking to go there. At that price tag, this is where these guys are in. If you need cheap guys, the Spurs and Dallas guys both are all these guards are in play for them. But it's really only if you need the salary relief, because you're going to have quite a bit. I feel like most lineup constructions are going to have Harden in them. If you don't have Harden, I don't think you're going to win. So you're going to need some cheap guys to pair with them, but I don't know which one to pick. That's what I'm struggling with. There's quite a few guys you can go with. Just pick the guys you feel like are going to have the best days, and the best game flow to work out with them. And that's pretty much all I've got from this game. So that's what I got for this slate. These are some of my favorite plays. I like Harden a lot. I think Eric Gordon's in a good spot. Really like CJ Miles at that 3,400 price tag. He's one of my favorite punt plays of the day. I think Al Horford's in a great spot at 7,600 against Brooklyn. Hopefully that game can stay close, and I think Horford's in for a huge day. Really like him, and I feel like he's going to be super popular. Him and Harden, I think, are going to be really popular. Like Kyle Anderson at 4,500 quite a bit. I think he could have a big game, especially if the game flow works out in his favor. And then Harrison Barnes is also in a good spot. 6,100 is a bit high, but I think he's definitely in play. looking for a good game from him. So that's what I got for tonight. Hope you guys enjoy. Good luck out there tonight. Hope you win a lot of money, and have a great day.